Guys, this is Echo Soundworks with another tutorial from ADSR and MassiveSynth.com. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel and you want to stay up to date with all of our tutorials, you can at youtube.com/ADSR tuts. So that was a quick little demo of the sound we'll be making today in Massive. So it's a pretty simple sound. I only have an instance of the LFO tool doing some sidechain compression. So let me mute that and unmute this, and this is just a new sound in Massive. So it's a pretty simple sound. There's not a lot of crazy modulation or macroing going on. It's basically just kind of a cool blend of wavetables. So let's jump right into it. In Oscillator 1, I'm going to select the sine square wave, which is that one right there. And then wavetable position, I'm going to turn down to just a little bit above 50%. And activate Oscillator 2. Keep it on this square saw 1. Turn the amp down to about 25% because we'll modulate that with an envelope in a little bit. And you don't have to affect the pitch or anything. Activate Oscillator 3, pitch it down to -12. And then we're going to select from this analog electric section, we're going to select Screamer. Turn the intensity down a good amount. And now in our modulation oscillator, we're going to click on phase, and we're going to have it introduce some phase into our oscillator 1, and just a little bit. So turn it down all the way and then just bump it up a little. And then we're going to keep the noise on white for the type and up the amp a little bit. Turn the color down because we'll modulate that with that same envelope that we'll use to modulate some of the oscillators. Click feedback and add a little bit of feedback. Alright, and then go to your routing tab and make sure your routing tab looks like this. It should be by default. Make sure that insert 1's happening there and the feedback's happening after it hits the amp and pan. So that should be set up how it is by default. So now let's go to our insert 1, activate it, and we're going to use the high pass, low pass filter. Turn the high pass down and the low pass down. The low pass up all the way. We're going to end up modulating some of that with an envelope in a bit. And then this vibrato, we're going to turn that up just a little bit. But let's actually go to our, make sure you clicked on this oscillator tab, and then turn your rate down just a pinch so it's a little slower. Alright, so now that we got all the oscillators squared away, and then the insert effect, let's go to our voicing tab because I'll have a huge effect on the sound. I'm going to turn the unison up to 8. I'm going to turn the volume down a little bit, and then activate this unison spread pitch cutoff and go up to just turn this up to 0.6, and then you're going to nudge out that slider just a little bit, barely any, and you're going to keep that on centered and on 1. And then on the pan position, we're going to select that, and you're going to move that almost all the way to the right. All right, and so now we got the voicing kind of set up, and the oscillator tab all taken care of. Let's go to our envelope. So in envelope 1, what you're going to do is you're going to turn the attack down to just maybe a little bit above 0. Keep the level up. Turn this decay level down and turn the level down. And I'm going to turn this attack down a little. And now turn the release up a good chunk. So basically this line, now that you turn the release up to about maybe about a little bit, 55-60%, what you're going to do is you're going to turn the decay so this line is kind of starting with this D. And that's not going to have an effect until we actually apply it somewhere. So I'm going to do the side chain here in oscillator 1. I'm going to crank it up to 64. I'm going to do that same thing with this amp here in oscillator 2. Just drag it out. Alright, and let's do that same modulation with let's make sure we click this so it's on the source, and we're going to click and drag the color out for the white noise. Okay, and finally let's go to filter 1, and let's select the low pass 4 filter, and you're going to turn the cutoff up almost all the way, then resonance down, and we're going to modulate in the sidechain box here. All right, and then so what you're going to do is you're just going to click on this, illuminate that sidechain. I'm going to drag this into here and then drag it up a little bit. All right, let's go to our fourth envelope. Turn the attack down. Keep the level up. Turn the decay just a little bit above 50%. Keep the level where it's at. And what you're going to do actually, turn the level down actually just a pinch. Turn this release up. So this line right there is in line with that T on trigger 0 reset. All right, and then finally what we got to do with this little section with the envelopes and LFOs, I'm going to set up this bending waveform here. I'm going to sync the rate to 1/8, turn the amp down a little, because I'm going to modulate that with our first envelope that we've created. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our envelope 1, and I'm going to modulate the attack with that LFO. All right, and now I'm going to go to the voicing tab. I'm going to take that same LFO and I'm going to modulate a little bit out on that pitch cutoff on the unison spread. All right, and going on to our FX, I am going to put a little bit of the classic tube on FX1, just a little. And then in the second FX slot, I'm going to activate the delay sync, turn the dry wet down, turn the damp up a little, and the feedback up, and I'm going to turn this to 4 and 12, and then 4 and 16. And let's add a little bit of high end here, and we'll cut a little bit of low. And that is pretty much the sound, guys. If you have any questions or comments, let me know below, and I'll get back to them as soon as I can. And if you haven't checked out massivesynth.com, head on over there. Bunch of tutorials and everything massive. And I'll see you next time.